And first tonight, criticism toward Oklahoma's new logo and slogan. Thanks for joining us. I'm Chin Doan. Many claim the state isn't paying proper homage to its Native American roots. One green country artist designed an alternative with a focus on the indigenous culture. News on 6's Reuben Cain is live with an interview you'll see only on 6. Eric?
Chin, state leaders and the volunteers who worked on the rebranding call it a powerful identifier of our state inspired by our heritage. But Reuben Cain of Tahlequah tells me the state's new logo is boring and doesn't stand out at all. When Reuben Cain saw the state's new brand revealed to Oklahomans a couple weeks ago, he was disappointed. He's a student artist at Northeastern State University.
If I would have turned that in to my graphic design professor, she would have told me to go back to the drawing boards.
Cain thinks the state's logo and "Imagine That" slogan that more than 140 volunteers worked on doesn't stand out. You can see here, Twitter user the Mike Harris inserted it into 49 other stock images he says he found in a 5-minute Google search. The lieutenant governor, who headed up the branding effort, replied to this tweet with "Cute, but I like ours better." He also tweeted, "I know there are some boondoggles in government, but this isn't one of them," saying the price was a bargain and he's proud of the process. But many, like Cain, disagree.
If you can't stand out from the crowd, how are people going to find you?
So Cain went to work, and in several hours, the graphic designer had this mock-up. He says indigenous cultures across Oklahoma were his inspiration.
It's a very rich history of Native American and indigenous cultures.
The symbols, shapes, and overall design is all mapped out and explained. There are 39 stars for the 39 tribes, and the colors are for the state's red dirt, rivers and lakes, ancestors, and people. Those are all Native heritage focal points he believes should have been stronger in the state's new logo.
Since it is representing all of Oklahoma, not just tourist and business side, but it needs to accurately represent that.
Cain tells me his design is evolving because he's looking at people's feedback. His version will not replace the logo the state recently unveiled, though, but he wanted to make a point. State leaders say employees from several tribes were a part of that process and that the Chickasaw Nation even donated and loved the preview they got. Reuben Cain, Oklahoma's Own, News on 6.